Hey, guess what? I'm not making soup today. So the question of the day is, when is a pudding not a pudding? Well, let's go back a little bit into the history of pudding. A few centuries ago, 2 or 3 or 4, maybe 5, the British considered anything boiled or steamed a pudding. So it could be a black pudding or a white pudding. Steak and kidney pie was considered a pudding. Haggis was a pudding. And then it evolved to the fact that anything in the final course of a meal would be considered the pudding, whether it was cake or actual pudding. Because in North America today, our understanding of pudding is pudding, like chocolate pudding, bread pudding, anything that's kind of pudding-y. For today's question, the pudding we're talking about is Yorkshire pudding. When they first started, it was often used as an appetizer served with gravy. Well, it will be, a side dish for our dinner, and I love my Yorkshire pudding with gravy. So put the ingredients together and show you what it looks like when it comes out. So the ingredients that we're going to need are 3 eggs, a cup of flour, a cup of milk, and a pinch of salt. So we'll pour in the milk first and add the 3 eggs. And once added, we'll mix that really well together, the eggs and the milk, and just add a good pinch of salt. You don't need a whole lot for this recipe. And then add in your flour and mix that very well. Then we're going to cover it and put it in the fridge till we are ready to cook it later. And what we're going to do, I've got a stone, I think it's from Pampered Chef, a stone 6 muffin tin. And I'm going to add a little oil into the bottom of each one of the cups. And that's going to go into the oven and heat up the oil. We want oil sizzling hot, because that's what's going to help our Yorkshires get nice and puffy and tall. I'm going to do them at 400. So we're going to get the oil heated. And while the oil's heating, we're going to take the mixture out of the fridge and we're going to stir it up again, put some air into it. Okay. The heating oil in the muffin pan is just about ready to come out of the oven. Giving it a last little stir. And you'll notice I made it in this pour bowl, measuring bowl, because it just makes it easier to get it in the proper slots. I've done it with a ladle, and I managed to get it everywhere. Take the pan out of the oven. And this recipe makes enough for 6 muffins. So if you want, or puddings, if you want more, just double the recipe. Depends on how many people you're going to be feeding. This is more than I need to feed the 2 of us, my sister and I. But we'll use it up over the next couple of days. They keep, just like bread would, for a few days. You're going to be amazed at how these things rise up. Now, I've seen a recipe for Yorkshire puddings that suggests that besides the 3 eggs, that you put in a 4th egg white to help them rise even more. Now, I don't have a problem with mine rising. When it comes out and we see how they are, you can make a decision for yourself. But just look at this beauty. I'll get one out just to show you. Is it delicious looking or what? So you decide. Do you think you'd need another egg white to make those rise higher? I don't think so. They come out like this every time. So once we get it plated, I'll give you a shot of it. And happy cooking. Let me know if you try that, because Yorkshire pudding, the pudding that isn't a pudding, but so delicious.